My name is Elena, and tonight I'm standing in the rain outside the Silver Moon packhouse, watching through the windows as Alpha Marcus announces his chosen mate. It's not me. I'm 23 years old, an Omega Wolf in the Crescent Valley Pack, the lowest rank, the weakest link. For 3 years, I've served Marcus faithfully, believing that loyalty and dedication could overcome what I was born as. My mother died believing the same lie. She was an Omega who loved an Alpha, and it killed her when he chose power over her heart. I promised myself I'd be different, stronger. But here I am, history repeating itself like a curse I can't break. Through the glass, I see her, Vanessa, the Alpha's daughter from the Northern Ridge Pack. She's beautiful, powerful, everything an Alpha King needs in a mate. Everything I'm not. Marcus holds her hand up to the crowd, and the pack erupts in cheers. My wolf whimpers inside me, feeling the bond I thought we had shatter like dropped crystal. Elena, the voice behind me is soft. I turn to find Marie, the pack's healer and the closest thing to family I have left. She holds an umbrella over both of us, her weathered face full of sympathy. Come inside, you'll catch your death. I can't, my voice sounds hollow. I can't watch this. She touches my shoulder, and I feel the gentle warmth of her healing gift. Then don't, go home. Tomorrow will come whether you're ready or not. I nod and turn away from the packhouse, from Marcus, from the life I thought I'd have. The rain soaks through my thin jacket as I walk toward the small cottage I share with 2 other Omegas at the edge of pack territory. This is where I belong, apparently. The edges, the shadows, the forgotten spaces. My roommates, Sarah and Tommy, are already asleep when I slip inside. I don't turn on the lights. I just sit on my bed in the darkness, letting my wet clothes cling to my skin, feeling everything and nothing at once. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. I'm sorry, you understand, don't you? The pack needs this alliance. I stare at those words until they blur. He's not sorry. He's just trying to smooth things over to keep his loyal little Omega from becoming a problem. I type back. I understand perfectly. Then I block his number. That night, I don't sleep. I make a decision instead. 3 days later. I'm in the pack's medical supply room, taking inventory for Marie. It's peaceful work, counting bandages and checking expiration dates on medications. Nobody bothers Omegas when they're doing menial tasks. We're practically invisible. Elena, dear, can you prepare a field kit? Marie calls from her office. The patrol team is doing extended rounds near the border. They want emergency supplies. Of course. I pull out the weatherproof bag and start packing antiseptic, gauze, pain medication, emergency sutures. My hands move automatically. I've done this 100 times. Sarah pokes her head in. Did you hear? Alpha Marcus is taking Vanessa on a tour of the territory, showing her the boundaries, introducing her to the border patrols. My chest tightens, but I keep packing. Good for them. Elena, Sarah's voice drops. Are you okay, really? I meet her eyes. Sarah is 20, barely out of training, and she still believes in happy endings. I don't want to break that for her. I'm fine. I'm actually thinking about transferring to another pack. Marie says the Riverside pack needs healers in training. Sarah's face falls. You'd leave. I'd leave Marcus behind. There's a difference. I zip up the field kit. I can't stay here and watch them play alpha couple. I'm not that strong. Tommy appears behind Sarah, his face worried. The patrol team just called in. They found rogue activity near the eastern border. 3 rogues attacked one of our scouts. They're requesting immediate backup. My wolf perks up alert. Is the scout okay? Injured but stable. They're bringing him back now. Tommy hesitates. Alpha Marcus took a small team to track the rogues. He wanted to show Vanessa that he could protect pack territory. Something cold slides down my spine. How small a team. Just him, Vanessa, and 2 warriors. He said, Tommy's voice wavers. He said an Alpha King doesn't need an army to handle 3 rogues. Pride. Marcus always led with pride. It made him powerful, but it also made him reckless. I glance at the field kit in my hands, then at the window. The eastern border is rough terrain, full of ravines and thick forest. Perfect for an ambush. Elena, What are you thinking? Marie's voice comes from the doorway. She's watching me with those all-knowing healer eyes. I'm thinking 3 rogues bold enough to attack pack territory aren't acting alone. I'm thinking this might be a trap. I sling the field kit over my shoulder. And I'm thinking our alpha just walked into it with his new mate. Marie nods slowly. Your wolf is telling you something. My wolf is telling me that even though Marcus broke my heart, I can't let him die. I head for the door. That's the curse of being an Omega. We protect, even when it hurts. The forest, 20 minutes later. I'm running in wolf form now, my smaller Omega wolf moving fast through the underbrush. My russet brown fur is built for stealth, not strength, and I use every advantage. The scent trail is easy to follow, Marcus's alpha musk, Vanessa's perfume, the metallic tang of blood. Too much blood. I push harder, my paws barely touching the ground. The bond I thought was broken still pulls at me, a golden thread connecting my heart to Marcus even when my mind says to let go. My mother felt this too. She ran to my father when he was wounded in battle, even after he'd chosen another mate. She saved his life, and he thanked her by exiling her from pack territory. She died alone, 6 months later, her wolf giving up without her mate's acknowledgement. I will not be my mother. The scent of rogue wolves hits me like a wall, unwashed, feral, wrong. But there's more. At least 8 distinct scents, maybe 10. This wasn't just 3 rogues. This was a coordinated attack. I slow as I approach a clearing, my ears picking up voices. I creep forward, belly low to the ground, and peer through the ferns. My heart stops. Marcus is on his knees, blood streaming from a wound in his side. Vanessa is behind him, her dress torn, her face pale with fear. The 2 warriors who came with them are unconscious or worse, lying motionless at the edge of the clearing. Surrounding them are 9 rogue wolves in human form, all armed with silver-edged weapons. The leader, a scarred man with dead eyes, circles Marcus slowly. The mighty Alpha King brought low. Your father killed my pack, burned our territory, scattered us like rats. Tonight I return the favor. Marcus snarls, trying to rise, but the silver wound is spreading its poison through his system. Silver burns wolves from the inside, shutting down our healing, killing us slow. Kill me, Marcus growls. But let the female go. She's not pack yet, she's innocent. The rogue leader laughs. Innocent? She's your chosen mate, that makes her guilty enough. I should leave. Every logical part of my brain screams at me to run, to let Marcus face the consequences of his arrogance. He chose Vanessa. He chose power over me. He made his bed. But my wolf won't let me. And deeper than that, my heart won't let me. Not because I owe him anything, but because leaving someone to die when I could help isn't who I am. My mother saved my father not because he deserved it, but because she was better than his choices. Maybe that's what being an Omega really means, protecting, even when it costs everything. I close my eyes and reach for the one gift Omegas have that other ranks don't. The ability to fade, to become nothing, to disappear into the background so completely that even other wolves can't sense us. It's how we've survived for centuries as the weakest rank. We become invisible. The pack elders call it the veil. I've never used it for anything more than hiding from bullies or avoiding awkward conversations. Tonight, I'll use it to save an alpha who broke my heart. I let the veil fall over me like mist, and I step into the clearing. The rescue. None of the rogues notice me. I'm a ghost, a shadow, nothing. I move toward the unconscious warriors first, checking pulses, alive, both of them just knocked out. I slip a small vial of smelling salts from my field kit and crack it under the nearest warrior's nose. His eyes flutter open, and I press my finger to my lips before he can speak. His eyes widen in recognition, but he stays still. I move to the second warrior, repeat the process. 2 fighters, injured but functional, now aware and waiting for a signal. The rogues are focused entirely on Marcus and Vanessa, savoring their victory, not watching the bodies they think are dead. I creep closer to Marcus. The silver wound in his side is bad, the blade must have been coated thick. He's fighting to stay conscious, fighting to keep standing between the rogues and Vanessa. Even now, he's protecting his chosen mate. It shouldn't hurt as much as it does, but pain is familiar these days. The rogue leader raises his silver blade. Any last words, Alpha King? This is it. I drop the veil. I phase mid-leap, my Omega wolf erupting from the nothing and slamming into the rogue leader before he can bring the blade down. We roll across the clearing in a tangle of fur and fury. I'm not strong enough to fight him, but I don't need to be. I just need to be fast. Omega, one of the rogues shouts. There's an Omega here. They hesitate for a crucial second. Omegas don't attack. We don't fight. We're not threats. That second is all my warriors need. They surge to their feet, partially healed, and engage the nearest rogues with savage efficiency. I release the rogue leader and dart toward Marcus, phasing back to human. Can you shift? He stares at me like I'm a hallucination. Elena, what are you? Can you shift? I'm already pulling the silver extraction kit from my bag, not waiting for his answer. This is going to hurt. There are 9 of them. 8 now. I glance up. One of the warriors has taken a rogue down hard. And we're about to even the odds more. Hold still. I pour pure silver powder over the wound. It neutralizes the silver in his blood, but burns like hellfire doing it. Marcus screams, his whole body going rigid. Vanessa gasps behind him. You're killing him, she cries. I'm saving him. There's a difference. I work fast, drawing out the poisoned blood, packing the wound with healing herbs. Vanessa, I need you to shift and run. Get back to pack territory and bring reinforcements. She shakes her head, frozen with fear. I can't leave. You're the Alpha's chosen mate. Protecting you is why Marcus is dying right now. If you want to honor that, run, fast. My voice is harder than I intended, but there's no time for gentle. She shifts, a beautiful silver wolf, and bolts for the tree line. 2 rogues move to chase her, but Marcus, healing now that the silver is out, phases into his massive black alpha wolf and intercepts them. He's still weak, but he's an alpha king. Even weakened, he's formidable. The battle is fast and brutal. My warriors fight with desperate strength. Marcus holds the line against 2 rogues at once, and I move through the chaos like water, invisible and everywhere, stabilizing injuries, tossing emergency supplies, using the veil to distract and confuse. An Omega in battle is supposed to be useless. But nobody taught me that healers can be warriors too, that the weakest can protect the strongest, that invisibility is its own kind of power. A rogue lunges at me, but I drop into the veil and his claws pass through empty air. I come up behind him and drive a silver-tipped syringe into his leg, sedative strong enough to drop a bowl. He crashes down, unconscious. The rogue leader, recovered from my initial attack, fixes his dead eyes on me. You're the rejected Omega. I can smell the broken bond on you. Then you know I have nothing left to lose. I stand between him and Marcus, my small frame ridiculous against his bulk, but I don't move. He laughs. You'd die for an alpha who cast you aside. I die keeping my promise to protect this pack. What he did to me doesn't change what I am. I feel my wolf rise up, small but fierce, and I'm someone who shows up when it matters. The rogue leader rushes me, silver blade raised. I don't run. At the last second, Marcus crashes into him from the side, his alpha wolf's jaws closing on the rogue's throat. It's over in seconds. The clearing falls silent except for heavy breathing and whimpers from the injured. 8 rogues, 5 unconscious, 3 dead, 1 escaped. My warriors are standing but hurt. Marcus shifts back to human, blood-covered and exhausted. He looks at me like he's never seen me before. You came, he says quietly. After everything, you came. I start triaging the injuries, professional and distant. We need to move. That rogue who escaped will bring reinforcements if there are any nearby. Can you walk? Elena. Can you walk, Alpha Marcus? I don't look at him. If I look at him, I'll fall apart, and we don't have time for that. Yes, his voice is rough, but we need to talk about. We need to get you home. I hand him a shirt from one of the unconscious warriors. The talking can wait until nobody's bleeding. The pack house, that night the pack is in chaos when we return. Vanessa made it back and raised the alarm. Half the pack was preparing to mount a rescue. They stop and stare when we limp into the clearing Marcus, wounded but alive, the two warriors, conscious and walking, me, an Omega covered in blood that's not entirely hers. Beta James, Marcus's second-in-command, rushes forward. Alpha, we were just organizing. He stops, looking at me. Did the Omega, did Elena. She saved us, one of the warriors. A man named Derek speaks up. All of us took on 8 rogues with nothing but a medical kit and guts I didn't know Omegas had. The pack murmurs, confused. Omegas don't do this. We don't fight, don't lead, don't save Alpha Kings from certain death. We're the helpers, the invisible ones, the ranks everyone forgets about until they need something menial done. Marie pushes through the crowd and pulls me into her arms. Stupid, brave girl, she whispers, just like your mother. That breaks something inside me. I start shaking, the adrenaline wearing off, the reality of what I just did crashing down. I could have died. Should have died. 9 against 4, rogues against 1 alpha and 2 warriors and 1 useless Omega. The math didn't work in our favor. But we're alive. Everyone's alive. Get her to medical, Marcus orders. And someone bring me a full tactical report, if there are more rogues in our territory. I'm fine. I pull away from Marie. I just need to clean up. The warriors need medical attention more than I do. Elena, Marcus's alpha voice rolls over me, and my Omega wolf instinctively responds, going still. He softens his tone. Please, let Marie check you over for me. You don't get to ask things for you anymore. The words come out harder than I intended, but they're true. I saved your life because it was the right thing to do, not because we're anything to each other. We're not. I walk away before he can respond, before I can see the hurt in his eyes, before I remember that 3 days ago I thought I'd be standing beside him as his mate. My cottage, later that night. I'm in the shower when the tears finally come. I scrub rogue blood and forest dirt from my skin and let myself break down where nobody can see. I saved Marcus. I proved that Omegas can be strong, can be valuable, can be more than servants and afterthoughts. And it doesn't matter. He still chose Vanessa. He still chose power and alliance over whatever we had. That hasn't changed. Tonight just complicated everything, added a debt he'll feel obligated to repay, turned me into a story the pack will tell instead of a person they respect. The rejected Omega who saved the Alpha King. How noble, how tragic, how completely useless. I'm drying off when I hear voices outside, low, urgent, then a knock at the door. Elena, it's Marcus, of course it's Marcus. Please, we need to talk. We don't. I pull on clean clothes, soft pants, an oversized shirt, comfort clothes. Go home, Marcus, go back to Vanessa. She left. His voice is rough. She went back to Northern Ridge, said she couldn't be mated to someone whose Omega was willing to die for him while she ran. I freeze, my hand on the doorknob. I told her to run. That was the right tactical choice. It was, but watching you fight for me, watching you refuse to leave me even after he trails off. She said she couldn't compete with that kind of loyalty, that kind of love. It wasn't love. I open the door just enough to see him. He's cleaned up, wearing fresh clothes, but he looks exhausted and raw. It was duty. There's a difference. Is there? His eyes search mine. Because I've been thinking about the difference all night. Duty is what I felt for Vanessa. Marrying her would have strengthened the pack, secured alliances, made political sense. Love is what I felt watching you walk away 3 days ago. Love is what I felt every morning for 3 years when you brought me coffee before anyone else was awake. Love is what I was too proud and too stupid to choose when it mattered. My heart hammers against my ribs. You can't do this. You can't just... You're my mate, Elena. The words hang in the air between us, huge and terrifying. Not chosen for politics or power, my true mate. I've known for 6 months, and I was too much of a coward to claim you because I thought being an Alpha King meant choosing strength over heart. Tonight you proved I had it backwards. You're the strongest person I know. I step back, shaking my head. You rejected me, Marcus. 3 days ago, in front of the entire pack, you chose someone else. You don't get to change your mind just because I saved your life. You're right. He stays in the doorway, not pushing. I don't get to change your mind. I don't get to demand forgiveness or a second chance. What I get is the truth that I was wrong, that I hurt you, that I chose pride over love and nearly died for it. His voice drops. What I get is the rest of my life knowing I let the best thing that ever happened to me walk away because I was too blind to see what was right in front of me. Tears blur my vision. Do you know what it felt like, watching you announce your engagement to her? Do you know what it's like being an omega in love with an alpha, knowing you'll never be good enough, strong enough, important enough? You're everything enough. He takes one step forward, and I don't move back. You're more than enough. You're everything I didn't know I needed until I almost lost it forever. Pretty words don't fix broken bonds, Marcus. No, but actions do. Time does. Proving every single day that I choose you not because you saved my life, but because you're you. Elena, the omega who shows up when everyone else runs. Elena, who's stronger than any alpha I've ever met. Elena, my mate. He holds out his hand. If you'll have me, if you can forgive me, if there's any chance. Stop. I wipe my tears away angrily. You don't get to make this easy. You don't get to say beautiful things and have me fall into your arms like nothing happened. I know. You broke my heart. I know. You made me feel worthless. I know, his voice cracks. And I will spend the rest of my life making up for it if you give me the chance. But I understand if you can't. I understand if you transfer to Riverside, if you leave and never look back. I just needed you to know the truth first. You're not the omega who wasn't good enough. I'm the alpha who wasn't worthy of you. I look at him, really look at him. The alpha king, powerful and proud, standing on my doorstep like a supplicant, offering not demands but apologies, not commands but choices. My mother never got this. She saved my father, and he thanked her with exile and silence. She died knowing her mate never fought for her, never chose her, never saw her worth. Marcus is seeing mine. Too late, maybe, but he's seeing it. I can't just forgive you, I whisper. I can't just forget what happened. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking for a chance to earn back what I threw away. One day at a time. One choice at a time. Starting with me announcing to the pack tomorrow that you're my true mate and I was a fool for not claiming you from the start. That's not, I shake my head. I don't need a public declaration. I need to know that you see me. Not the hero who saved you. Not the omega who proved herself. Just me, Elena. The woman who brought you coffee every morning because she loved you. The woman who counted bandages in supply closets and lived at the edge of pack territory and never asked for anything but to be seen. He steps closer, close enough that I can feel the warmth of him. I see you. I've always seen you. I just didn't have the courage to act on it until I almost lost you forever. And if I say no, if I can't trust this, can't trust you, then I'll respect that. I'll step back, but I'll never stop fighting to prove I'm worthy of a second chance. Because you're my mate, Elena, true mates don't give up, ever. I look at his hand, still extended. One choice, one moment. Do I risk my heart again for the alpha who broke it? Or do I walk away clean, protect myself, be smart? My wolf knows the answer before I do. She's been howling for him since the moment we met, and tonight when I thought he might die, the pain was unbearable. True mates, the rarest bond in wolf culture, the kind my mother had and my father wasted. But I'm not my mother. And Marcus, standing here asking instead of demanding, apologizing instead of commanding, he's not my father. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. I take his hand. 1 month later. The claiming ceremony is small, just close pack members, Marie, and a few wolves I actually care about. Marcus wanted something huge and public, a celebration worthy of an alpha king claiming his mate. I told him I'd rather have something real. So we're in the forest clearing where I saved him, the place where everything changed. Marie is officiating, her healer's wisdom lending weight to the moment. Sarah and Tommy stand beside me, my chosen family when blood family is gone. Marcus faces me, his hands holding mine, and for once he's not the alpha king. He's just a man who nearly lost everything and is trying to be worthy of a second chance. Elena Santos, Marie begins. Do you accept Marcus Chen as your mate, your partner, your equal in all things? Do you choose him freely, with full knowledge of what this bond means? I look at Marcus. This past month has been hard. There were moments I wanted to run, moments I doubted everything, moments the pain of his rejection came flooding back. But there were also moments he showed up at my cottage with coffee, moments he deferred to my judgment in medical decisions, moments he made me laugh, moments he proved with actions, not words, that he meant what he said. I do, I say. I choose you, Marcus, not because you're an alpha king, because you're you. Marcus's eyes are bright. Elena, my mate, I claim you before these witnesses and the moon that guides us. I was a fool to ever deny this bond, to ever let pride stand between us. You're my strength, my heart, my equal in every way that matters. I choose you every day for all the days we have. Marie places our joined hands over a silver bowl of moon water. Then let the pack witness, Elena and Marcus, true mates, bound by choice and love. What the moon has joined, let no wolf tear asunder. The pack howls its approval, a sound that echoes through the forest. But I'm only aware of Marcus pulling me close, his lips finding mine in a kiss that tastes like coming home. When we break apart, he whispers, "Thank you for giving me a second chance." "Thank you for being worth it," I whisper back. The celebration lasts until dawn. Pack members approach me cautiously, unsure how to treat an Omega who's now their alpha's mate. Some are genuinely happy. Others are clearly struggling with the shift in hierarchy. I don't care. Let them struggle. I've earned my place here not through birth or rank, but through choice and courage. Derek, the warrior I saved, raises a glass. To Luna Elena, the Omega who taught us that strength isn't about rank, it's about who you are when everything falls apart. The pack cheers and Marcus squeezes my hand. Luna, the alpha's mate, second in command, protector of the pack. It's a title I never imagined carrying. Careful, I murmur to Marcus. They might start expecting me to act like a proper Luna. He grins. You already do. You just do it your way. 3 months later. I'm in the pack office, reviewing medical supply requests, when Tommy bursts in. He's been promoted to lead the Omega Welfare Program I started, an initiative to train and elevate Omegas who want more than servant roles. Elena, you need to see this. He spreads 3 applications on my desk. These are Omegas from other packs requesting transfer to Crescent Valley. They want to join your program. I scan the applications. A healer from Red Rock Pack, a teacher from Mountain View, a strategist from Riverside, all Omegas, all talented, all stuck in packs that don't value them. Approve them, I say, and prepare housing in the new section. We'll need to expand the program. That's 15 new Omegas this month. The council is getting nervous. They're worried about too many weak wolves diluting pack strength. I look up sharply. Schedule a council meeting. Tomorrow, I'll address their concerns. Tommy grins. Luna Elena about to educate some stubborn alphas. I'll bring popcorn. The next day, I stand before the pack council. 8 high-ranking wolves, mostly alphas and betas, used to traditional power structures. Marcus sits at the head of the table, his alpha king presence filling the room, but he's silent. This is my fight. Councilman Robert, an old guard alpha, speaks first. Luna Elena, we respect what you've accomplished, but bringing in more Omegas weakens our military strength in times of conflict. In times of conflict, I interrupt calmly, you need more than soldiers. You need healers to keep them alive, strategists to outthink the enemy, support systems to maintain morale, supply chains to keep everyone fed and armed. I pull out a folder. Since implementing the Omega program 3 months ago, our injury recovery time is down 40%. Our resource efficiency is up 30%. And our pack cohesion scores, the ones that measure loyalty and satisfaction, are the highest in 10 years. Councilwoman Sarah, a beta with traditional views, frowns. But Omegas are naturally submissive. They're not meant for leadership roles. I meet her eyes steadily. I'm an Omega. I'm standing here as your Luna. I led a rescue mission that saved your Alpha King's life. Tell me again what Omegas aren't meant for. The room goes silent. Marcus's lips twitch in a suppressed smile. The old ways, I continue, taught us that strength equals power equals alpha, but strength comes in many forms: the healer who saves a life, the teacher who shapes young minds, the omega who shows up when everyone else runs. I look at each council member. We're not diluting pack strength, we're expanding our definition of it, and that makes us stronger, not weaker. Robert shifts uncomfortably. And if other packs see us as going soft, if they think we're too progressive, then they'll underestimate us. I smile, which is exactly what the rogues did 3 months ago. They saw an omega and assumed weakness. That assumption cost them everything. Marcus finally speaks. The council will vote, all in favor of expanding the Omega program and approving Elena's proposed transfers. One by one, hands rise. Not all of them, but enough. Progress, not perfection. After the meeting, Marcus catches me in the hallway. That was impressive. Scary, but impressive. I learned from the best. I lean into him. An alpha king who isn't afraid to admit when he's wrong. I created a monster, but he's smiling. A beautiful, terrifying, unstoppable monster who's revolutionizing pack culture one council meeting at a time. You created nothing. I was always this person. You just gave me the platform to show it. He kisses my forehead. Best decision I ever made, claiming you as my mate. Second best, I correct. The best decision was listening when I told you to change. 6 months later. The territorial gathering happens twice a year. All the packs in our region meet to discuss politics, settle disputes, and maintain alliances. Marcus and I arrive at the neutral grounds to find hundreds of wolves from a dozen packs. Northern Ridge Pack is here. Vanessa is there, standing with her father, Alpha Dane. She sees us and her expression is complicated: regret, respect, something like wistfulness. Should I worry? I murmur to Marcus. Never, but you can be gracious. She made the right choice leaving. She knew she wasn't my mate. We approach the Northern Ridge contingent. Vanessa's father nods respectfully. Alpha Marcus, Elena, congratulations on your mating. Thank you, Alpha Dane. I keep my voice warm but professional. Vanessa. She meets my eyes. You were right that night. Running was the tactically smart choice, but watching you stay, watching you fight. She stops, choosing her words carefully. I couldn't compete with that. Nobody could. You're the real deal, Elena. You're kind to say so. I'm honest to say so. The packs are talking about what you're doing in Crescent Valley, elevating omegas, changing traditional structures. It's controversial. Change always is. It's also necessary. She glances at her father, then back to me. I'm starting something similar in Northern Ridge. Would you be willing to consult, share what you've learned? I'm surprised. This woman was supposed to be my enemy, the one who took my place. Instead, she's asking for help, for partnership. I'd be happy to, I say. We're stronger when we work together. The gathering proceeds with typical political posturing, but there's a shift I can feel. Other Lunas approach me, asking questions about the Omega program. A few alphas, younger ones, express interest in replicating it. The old guard watches with disapproval, but they're outnumbered by curiosity. At the evening feast, Alpha Dane stands to address the gathering. We're here to strengthen bonds between packs, to maintain the old ways that have kept us strong. But I'm reminded that strength without evolution is just stubbornness wearing a crown. He looks at Marcus and me. Crescent Valley is showing us that tradition and progress can coexist, that honoring our weakest members doesn't weaken us. It reveals strength we didn't know we had. Marcus rises, his Alpha King presence commanding attention. My mate taught me that lesson the hard way. I'm grateful she did, and I'm grateful to share what we're learning with any pack willing to listen. The gathering erupts in discussion, heated, passionate, but engaged. Not everyone agrees. Some alphas will cling to the old ways until they die, but seeds are planted. Ideas are spreading. Change is coming, slow but inevitable. Later, under the stars, Marcus and I walk the perimeter of the gathering grounds. Do you ever regret it? He asks quietly. Taking me back, you could have left, started fresh somewhere else, been free of all this political complexity. I consider the question seriously. Sometimes I think about how much simpler life would be if I'd walked away. But then I remember what I'd be walking away from. You, yes, but also the chance to change things for omegas like me. For wolves who have been told they're not enough their whole lives. I stop, turning to face him. My mother died believing she was worthless because an alpha didn't choose her. I'm living proof that omegas have worth beyond an alpha's validation. That's bigger than you and me. That's legacy. He pulls me close. Your mother would be proud. I hope so. I rest my head against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. I think she would have liked you, eventually, after making you grovel for a while. He laughs, and the sound rumbles through me. I'm still groveling. I'll probably grovel for the rest of my life. Good, keep you humble. 1 year later. The pack is celebrating the anniversary of Marcus's rescue, what they're calling the Omega's Stand. I tried to get them to call it something less dramatic, but the name stuck. There's a memorial in the clearing now, a stone marker listing the names of every wolf who fought that night. At the bottom, in smaller letters, strength is measured not by rank, but by courage in the moment it matters most. Marie suggested the inscription. I approved it. I'm watching cubs play fight in the grass, their parents nearby, relaxed and happy. One of the cubs is an omega, a little girl named Riley with russet fur like mine. She's tiny, but she's fierce, holding her own against the bigger alpha cubs. Her parents watch with pride, not shame. That's the real change. Not policy or programs, but this. An omega cub growing up believing she's enough exactly as she is. Elena. Riley bounds over in human form, all gap-toothed smile and boundless energy. Is it true you fought 9 rogues all by yourself? Not by myself. I had help from some very brave warriors. I kneel to her level. But yes, I helped fight. Because you're strong. Because I showed up. That's what matters most, being there when people need you, even when it's scary. I want to be like you when I grow up. Her eyes are shining with admiration. A healer who fights. My throat tightens. You can be anything you want, Riley. Your rank doesn't define you, your choices do. She hugs me fiercely, then runs back to the other cubs. Marcus appears at my side, sliding an arm around my waist. You're crying, he observes gently. Happy tears, that little girl, she has no idea how different her life will be from mine. How much easier, how much better. I wipe my eyes. That's worth everything. Every fight, every hard conversation, every moment I wanted to give up. You changed the world, Elena. Our world, at least. We changed it, together. He turns me to face him, his expression serious. I have something for you, a gift. Close your eyes. I obey, curious. I hear him rummaging in his pocket, then he takes my hand. Open. In my palm is a small leather journal, worn and beautiful. I open it carefully and see handwriting I recognize, my mother's. How did you? I tracked down the pack your mother came from. They kept her belongings after she died, waiting for someone to claim them. This was hers, her diary from when she met your father. His voice is soft. I thought you should have it, her story, her words. I clutch the journal to my chest, overwhelmed. Marcus. There's more. Read the last entry. I flip to the final page. My mother's handwriting shakier here, near the end of her life. I'm dying, I think. My wolf is fatting without my mate's recognition. But I need to write this for my daughter, if she ever finds these words. Elena, my brave girl, do not let my story become yours. I loved a man who couldn't see past tradition to the treasure right in front of him. I died proving my love was real, but he never acknowledged it. This is my failure, not yours. You are worth more than a mate's validation. You are worth more than your rank. You are strong, capable, and valuable exactly as you are. If an alpha ever treats you as less, remember, his blindness is his loss, not your failing. Love yourself first, my darling. Everything else follows from that. Your mother, who loved you more than moonlight. I'm crying openly now. Marcus holds me while I sob, releasing grief I've carried for years. My mother died believing she failed, believing her love wasn't enough. But she left me this, permission to value myself, to demand better, to know my worth. Thank you, I whisper to Marcus when I can speak again. Thank you for finding this, for bringing her back to me. She never left. She's in every brave choice you make, every stand you take. You're living the life she wanted for you, Elena. You're proving that omegas can be extraordinary, that love can be equal, that the old ways can evolve. He kisses my forehead. You're your mother's legacy, and what a legacy it is. Present day. That was a year ago. Today, I'm standing in front of the Territorial Council, representatives from 15 packs, presenting a formal proposal to implement omega welfare programs across the region. It's the biggest moment of my life, bigger even than saving Marcus. This isn't about one alpha or one pack. This is about changing the fundamental structure of wolf society. The council room is packed. Some faces are friendly. Vanessa is here, representing Northern Ridge, supporting the proposal. Others are openly hostile, old guard alphas who see this as an attack on tradition. I stand at the podium, Marcus beside me but slightly behind. My moment, my fight. Honored council members, I begin. 1 year ago, I was a rejected omega living at the edge of pack territory, invisible and undervalued. Today I'm Luna of Crescent Valley, architect of a program that's transformed our pack's efficiency, cohesion, and strength. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to share what's possible when we stop measuring worth by rank and start measuring it by contribution. I click through a presentation, data, testimonials, success metrics. But more powerful than any statistic are the wolves standing around the room's perimeter. 15 omegas from different packs, each one wearing a sash indicating their specialty. Healer, teacher, strategist, counselor, engineer, artist. These wolves, I gesture to them, represent untapped potential in every pack. They're not weak, they're specialized. They're not submissive, they're selective about where they invest their strength. And they're not lesser alphas. They're omegas, a rank with unique gifts that complement, not compete with alpha strength. Councilman Robert stands. Luna Elena, with respect, you're an exception. Most omegas don't have your courage or capability. With respect, Councilman, you're wrong. Most omegas haven't had the chance to show their courage and capability. Give them opportunity, training, and respect, and you'll find exceptional wolves in every pack. I'm not special. I'm just the first one someone believed in. The vote is called. It's not unanimous, change never is, but it passes 14 votes to 1. The Omega Welfare Program will be implemented across territorial packs over the next 3 years. The room erupts, some in celebration, some in anger, all in passionate engagement. Wolves are yelling, debating, planning. It's messy and chaotic and absolutely beautiful. Marcus pulls me aside as the council descends into productive chaos. You did it. We did it. I'm shaking, adrenaline and relief flooding through me. We actually changed wolf law, that's huge. That's revolutionary. He's beaming with pride. My mate, the revolutionary Luna. Vanessa approaches, extending her hand. That was extraordinary, Elena. Northern Ridge is ready to implement immediately. We shake and I see genuine respect in her eyes. Thank you, Vanessa, for your support, for your courage in trying something new. Thank you for showing us it was possible. She smiles. I think we're going to be friends, you and I. I think we already are. That evening, pack territory. I'm back home, sitting on the porch of the house Marcus, and I now share. A cottage at the center of pack territory, not the edges anymore. Sarah and Tommy live next door with their own families. The Omega housing section has grown into a thriving community, full of life and laughter. Riley, the Omega cub, runs past with her friends, all of them playing some elaborate game involving warriors and rogues. She's the warrior in their game. The alpha cub is the healer. Their roles aren't defined by rank anymore. They're defined by imagination and choice. Marcus joins me with 2 cups of tea, settling into the chair beside mine. We sit in comfortable silence, watching the sun set over pack territory. Do you ever think about that night? He asks. The clearing, the rogues, the moment everything changed. Every day, but not the way you might think. I sip my tea. I don't think about almost dying or proving myself. I think about the choice I made to show up even when it hurt, to protect even when I'd been rejected, to be who I am regardless of recognition. I look at him. That's the moment I claimed myself, Marcus. You claiming me as your mate was wonderful, but it wasn't what saved me. Choosing myself was. He takes my hand, threading his fingers through mine. That's the most alpha thing I've ever heard. I laugh. Maybe alpha isn't a rank, maybe it's a choice, and omegas can make that choice too. My revolutionary mate, destroying centuries of hierarchy, one philosophical observation at a time. Someone has to. I lean my head on his shoulder. Besides, you like having your worldviews challenged. I like having you. Worldview challenges are just a bonus. We sit there as the stars come out, the pack settling into evening routines around us. This is what I fought for, not recognition or status or revenge. Just this, a place where being an omega doesn't mean being less, where showing up matters more than showing off, where the rejected can become the remarkable, and where strength is measured by courage, not rank. My mother didn't get this ending. She died believing she failed. But she planted seeds in me, seeds of worth, of courage, of unshakable self-respect. Those seeds grew into this life, this change, this revolution. I'm not the rejected omega anymore. I'm Elena, Luna of Crescent Valley, mate to an alpha king who learned to choose heart over hierarchy. I'm the woman who showed up when it mattered, who changed wolf culture because someone had to, who proved that the weakest rank can hold the strongest power. And I'm my mother's daughter, brave, stubborn, and convinced that love starts with loving yourself first. Everything else follows from that.